Hi and welcome back. Today I'm reviewing the new LiveSync 2 plugin for Unreal Engine. Let's jump in. LiveSync came out just about a year ago, and if you've been using it, you'll probably agree that it's been pretty stable. Installation was a bit tricky, and if you want to update to the latest version, just follow my instructions, except you will need to install a new plugin file. I couldn't find that plugin, so I contacted our rep at Clo3D who provided a link. And I will link to that in the description, and you'll just need to direct download it. Clo says you can use Fab to download it, and I'm sure in the future it'll be ready, but I found that it just links out to their old version. Like my previous instructions, you're going to go to the Marketplace folder, remove the old version, and replace it with a newly unzipped LiveSync plugin. They're named the same, except this new one is the 2.0 version. Save the 2024 version because at the end of the video you're going to make up your mind whether you want this new one or old one, and you can reinstall the old one if you'd like. One of my favorite things about the old version, the 2024 version, was so dependable, especially with geometry cache files and avatars. And this new version isn't so much. I liked how small those files were in the Unreal Workplace. You did give up some editability in the previous workflow, but that was okay with me because everything just worked, no drama. Well, the latest version is totally different. It has more options. For one, it now creates a USD file format that you can sync and save either as multiple meshes or a single mesh, similar to the FBX exporter within Clo. But beware, if you select multiple meshes, it's going to make a bunch of U assets. I'm talking like 3 gigs worth, so just be aware. While I love having more control over assets, I also don't want to retexture my materials when jumping from one 3D software to another. And after all, Clo does a great job at creating materials, and I found that when importing a static mesh, everything was good. No missing or improperly assigned materials. However, when importing a geometry cache, I found that my materials were there, even as a single mesh, but they were all slotted in wrong. So I spent time guessing which materials went in which slot, and eventually I got it sorted out, but it just ate up time. Additionally, I find that this new version crashes Unreal a lot more. However, there are some positives too. A big one is that you know when your Clo project is connected via this green light. That's handy. Also, if you have multiple animations of the same garment, you can use the combiner to sync the materials from one geometry cache to another. So once you get all the materials slotted in correctly, it becomes very useful. Here's how the new LiveSync 2 functions. LiveSync is now a mode. You have to update to bring in an avatar and or a garment. Once it's in the world, you click save, and then you choose a location, then it disappears. You can bring it back into the world once you navigate to the save location as a single mesh or as a geometry cache or whatever. And parenting garments to avatars is all the same as it's always been. These settings are pretty self-evident. Again, I chose single garment because after making multiples it just chewed up tons of space. I also went with thick just because I want the thickness of my material there. One thing I hope that Clo3D might do, like with their library, they have a new library and you can always revert back to the old one. It would be nice if this plugin had an option to go back to the old version as well. LiveSync 2 has some limitations. One big one is that I like to create my own animations using Mixamo. Although you can still use these in Clo3D in the 2025 update, you cannot sync them in Unreal. Every test I did that included an avatar I created crashed Unreal. Easy enough fix though. I just unchecked avatar, and then I brought my custom Mixamo animation into Unreal, and then I retargeted that animation to a skeleton. LiveSync 2 to me seems a little bit slower than 1.15 and is less intuitive because of the process I explained before. So for that reason, I'm keeping a backup of Clo3D 2024. I'm keeping the installer on my desktop and that old LiveSync plugin. And when I want a drama-free, kind of no BS way to just bring in geometry caches, I'm just going to use this old version. It just works better for 9 out of 10 things that I'm doing. So here I'm going to just play through my workflow for creating custom animations using MetaHumans, Clo3D, and Unreal via LiveSync. I'll make a longer video explaining this process later this week, but for now I just want you to see the workflow and see how I'm getting around using some of the limitations in LiveSync 2.